Hello everybody, how you doing today? My name is Tom Curry and I am the creator of a program called Endure Through Fear. I want to thank you very much for joining us today. If you haven't seen or been part of this program, please go to #Endure Through Fear and see my other videos. Today I'd like to go ahead and talk about some of the things that COVID-19 has brought to us that unfortunately has created a whole different dynamic within our homes. And one of them that I'd like to discuss is when you're dealing with, when you're dealing with how to set boundaries and how that sets other people's expectations. When you don't set a boundary and people are taking advantage of you, feelings such as anger, depression, you feel taken advantage of, nobody appreciates you, and many different things. And that's all because boundaries haven't been set. So I'd like to go ahead and give you an example of a client that I work with, and I dealt solely with a couple of the 6 human needs. And the ones I dealt with, if you don't know what they are, were just certainty, uncertainty, significance, love and connection, growth, and contribution. The first 4 are the major parts that I work on. So this client, we'll call it, the father had a son, out here in where I live, and he was in another state and he had to come out because he wanted to spend time with his son because the son was having trouble adjusting. Now, he had been away from his son because of the divorce, but he gave up his job, came out to spend more time with his son. So in talking with him, I found out that he was having some communication issues with his son as well as trust, and he didn't know how to overcome this. So as we talked about why he came out for his son, but after further discussion uncovering other areas, I found out he came out to satisfy his guilt. He came out to go ahead and help his son without any really plan on how to help him, but it made him feel better that he was there. So he was certain that somebody was going to go ahead and get help. He just didn't realize it was helping himself to feel better about now injecting himself back into his son's life. But he was uncertain on how he was going to go ahead and really make an impact. So the first 2 human needs of certainty and uncertain had been met, because he was certain that he was going to come out here, but he was uncertain in how he was going to go ahead and actually impact his child. So that gave a confusing message to himself, and that's another reason we got talking. What we found out was that the son, because the boundaries weren't set, started taking advantage of the dad. Hey, now that you're out here, Dad, I need $5 for this. Can you spend some time here? I like to go to the driving range. It's this. Because the father felt as if he hadn't been there in the past for his son, that he was going to give his son everything he needed just to be there for support. Back again, however, though, if we look at the 6 human needs, his level of significance was gone ahead and maintained because he felt very good about himself, that he was helping his son get the things he wanted. He was supporting his son. He was feeling significant in how his son started to react. Again, his son was reacting to the boundaries that were not set, but the father really felt good because now he was giving and creating a positive environment with his son. The son didn't see it that way. So the next thing we went ahead and we talked about was as far as connection. We talked about the love and connection he had with his son, and his connection was just out in a way that was not exactly on page with his goals, with his desires, what he wanted to do. So we reorganized all this, and I sat down with both of them. And I asked the son, what is it that your goals are with your father being out here? And he said, you know what, I really don't know. I'm happy he's here, but he and I never had a discussion on what it was he was going to do. He was just kind of here, so I thought he was just trying to be my friend. That was not the goal that the father had. The goal the father had was to come in, be a positive influence, be a father again, and help his son along the way to become a better man. So it was a very interesting dynamic. So what we ended up doing is setting boundaries for what the father wanted to do and what the son expected, and then not to go ahead and break those boundaries. So when I identified with both of them what they were certain about, which was they wanted to have a relationship. They were uncertain by how they were going to go ahead and do that. And when we set boundaries, the uncertainty and goals of the relationship changed. We then found out that the significance of each other person in the relationship, just not between the 2 of them, but involving the ex-wife and everything, completely changed. Because now there was an agreement. And the love and connection that they have for each other became solid, one lane, one line, even communication, boundary set, and expectations of others came to being. This is part of what I do in our courses in Endure Through Fear. And it really doesn't matter what level you're on. You could be beginning, intermediate, or advanced when it comes to relationship building or behaviors. We all need to start somewhere. And we adjust this program to how you and where you are in that 3-step tier. Listen, I really want to thank you so much for joining us again. But one of the key factors is I want to make sure that you come back and see us. And one of the things is that I'm in the process of creating an ebook that will go over some of these behaviors. So why don't you come on back? You can contact me at coachingbynumbers.com or hashtag Endure Through Fear, and we'll be able to connect and set up a program specifically for you. And don't forget about your 1 free hour of consultation, of which we will get to know each other. I want to thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you have a blessed day. Thank you, and be well.